Do you have anything to say?
It's the last day of 2023.
Oh. Hi, I'm JQ. Welcome to my fresh new channel. I'm a full-time pharmacist who's on a self-growth journey on my last year before hitting 30. I had my first heartbreak last year, and although it was the most painful thing that I've went through, it propulsed me to take on a self-healing journey. I learned much more about myself in 1 year than I would have in the span of my whole life. Besides doing many of the healing practices that most people would do, one thing that stuck with me is doing a recap of each month and giving myself a monthly theme to practice new habits for the following month. In these types of videos, I'll be sharing what I have learned from my monthly themes while sharing a bit of my life to y'all strangers. Since we're not that close yet, hopefully one day we'll get to know each other better. On this self-growth journey, my objective is to implement healthier habits, physically and mentally, and to remove habits that aren't bringing me any benefits to living a healthier life. I want to also learn more about myself and challenge my old beliefs. So many things I want to do at once, I know. It's been 9 months since I've started, and when I look back at those 9 months, the first 6 were kind of a blur. Life just passes by so fast. I know that all I tried to do was to keep on moving. I kind of knew that I was becoming a better self, but as time passes by, I don't realize how much progress I made. It's like you're rowing and rowing and you don't know if you're moving forward or not. Like, where are you in that vast ocean, right? You just want to know where you are so that you can actually go to your destination, to know your point A in order to go to point B. So that's why I decided to make a recap of every month to visually see what I did for each month. So the way that I divided it, I don't know if you guys can see, I would put categories that are important to my life. So I would have health, workout, I have food, I had a project to buy a future condo, but I canceled that. Finance, mental health, that's important, and miscellaneous project like this one. And by doing that, it makes me realize how much I have accomplished for one sphere in my life and where I should continue to improve on. So that's one thing, right? To just divide my life into many categories and update myself monthly where I'm at. Other than that, instead of trying to get better at everything all at once, like having less self-negative talk, practicing gratitude, and being more resilient, I would give myself 30 days to practice one thing. I came to terms that changes take time to implement, and not all can be done at once. So I'd rather concentrate on one wise habit at a time. I can tell you that for December, I slacked off in meditating. I was sleeping later. I slacked off in working out. I was not motivated to work out regularly anymore because I didn't want to face another moment where I knew that I was gonna give up on myself. I don't know if you guys understand me. and I wasn't sure how I was doing mentally. So that was my December. So why January and February were connected? It's just because I didn't have time to do a January recap. I went to Italy, and I went to Italy at the end of January until the beginning of February, so that's why both months are connected. So my theme is let your mind open doors to new possibilities. Do not instinctively shut them down. The theme encouraged me to be more open-minded, of course. And by being more open-minded, it naturally made me more optimistic. And I do believe that those two ingredients are very important for being more resilient. And that was one of the goals that I wanted to achieve, is to be more resilient, to get back up after I fall down. All right, so story time. Soon after I had decided on my theme for January, I faced my very first challenge. So my friend and I was supposed to go to Ecuador around late January, but at the beginning of January, Ecuador announced that they had a countrywide emergency state because of drug cartels. So we had to put our trip on hold, and in the end we decided to cancel the trip for our own safety. I was very sad because we planned it in October to go in January, so we had like 3 months to plan it, and everything just came crumbling down. And my friend refused to buy another plane ticket with me, but I kind of refused to stay here, so that's why I just bought another ticket, and 4 days later I was in Italy, and that was one of the most memorable trips ever. I could have stayed home and feeling regretful, or I could have stayed home, not feeling regretful, but continuing to live a mundane life. But I'm so thankful for myself to not take those two routes and to open the other door, the door that opens up to new possibilities, to spontaneity, to freedom. When I returned home from that trip, I came back with new energy. I was motivated to improve my habits, like my sleeping schedule and my morning routine. Since I came back with the jet lag, I took that opportunity to reset my sleeping schedule. So by sleeping 1 or 2 hours earlier, I would wake up earlier. So I would give myself the goal to activate my body every morning, be it with yoga, Pilates, or weight training. And that just cascades down to a better day in general. Okay, story time number 2. My friend sent me a post that recommends one book to read every month. Since she knows that I'm on a self-growth journey, she thought it might interest me. And for those who don't know me, which means like everyone here, I'm someone who would either give up in the middle of a book or not start it, or take more than just way too long to finish a book. So that post seemed like an impossible challenge for me. Usually I would already give up and decline the suggestion even at the slightest idea of trying it. And that's what happens to many of us. We don't believe that we're capable in doing something, so we just shut that door right away to stay in our comfort zone. But where's the growth in that? So I let my mind open the door to this new opportunity, the possibility to cultivate my brain 12 times this year. So first book of the year is The Art of Laziness, and that helped me get the push that I needed to start this channel. What I mean by starting the channel is to consider it and prepare the content. I'm recording this at the end of April, so like 3 months later, but better late than never, right? January and February flew by and I'm still keeping up with my deadlines. I was able to apply some knowledge from the books into my life, and life seems more full. I knew from that moment on that that's how I would want to continue on living. I am making small intentional changes that I plan to maintain for a long time until it becomes second nature. One thing that I've learned is that the deeper the roots of the changes that we want to implement, the longer the process it will take, because it's so much harder to unwire those habits. And you know what? That's okay. That's what I'd call living life. Join me on this journey if you would like. I hope this month you would try to be more open-minded and catch yourself closing doors before you even try to consider them. Instead, give it a second thought and see what happens. I'm very far from getting it right, but I slowly feel like I'm inching towards my authentic self, living it my way, JQ's way. Thank you for watching my first video, and I hope to see you next time. See ya!